Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rad Kitchen. My name is Rachel Duxler, and I am a wellness coach with Redefining All Diets, hence the name Rad Kitchen, of course. So before we get started on this cooking demo, I wanted to share a little bit about myself because I'm really excited to be able to cook a plant-based meal for you guys because I know that this is a plant-based group. Hi, Heather. And with that, I want to be able to transform what people really enjoy eating, whether it's something taking out to eat or just something in the microwave. I want to be able to make cooking easier for people, whether it's at home by yourself or with your family, in order to save time and be able to curb your cravings and be able to bond with your family or with your spouse and be able to cook a delicious dish in a short period of time while also being healthy at the same time. Because why not be able to have everything at once? And that's what I get to do with Redefining All Diets. So today, I'm going to be cooking for you a vegan power bowl with vegan pesto. Woo! Who's excited? I know that in this group, the special is power bowls, so I wanted to prepare my own version of a power bowl. For someone who is physically active like me, I really enjoy having a well-rounded plate with lots of different colors of vegetables because each vegetable has its own type of nutrients. So the more vegetables that you eat, the more nutrients that you'll get and the more bang you'll get for your buck. So what I did was I chose a couple vegetables that I'm going to teach you how to prepare, and I want to teach you how to make this by yourself from scratch. And it first starts with the basics. Hi, Ray. You can't really cook without knowing how to chop. And I know that's a huge struggle for a lot of people who are first starting out learning how to cook. So a lot of the vegetables that I chose were cabbage, which is right here. Yay, red cabbage, broccoli, and an onion. Oops. I also have carrots, but what you can do to save a little bit of time is buy them already julienned, because a lot of people can be really intimidated by using a mandolin. You know, it's really easy to cut yourself, so that way it's a lot safer, and it's only $1.19 at Woodman's, which is not that bad. So first, let me make sure that the camera is on a good angle here so you can see the onion. So the first thing we're going to do to cook this power bowl is I'm going to chop this onion. I already chopped it in half to save a little bit of time, and then peeled off all of the skin because you don't want to have skin in your onion. So once you have it in half like this, you want to cut it diced. And I know a lot of people just cut it, just kind of chop it aimlessly. And so one technique I learned is to put your palm on the onion. Let me see if I can get that down a little more. There we go. So put your palm on the onion, and right below it, I have an 8-inch chef knife here. Looks beautiful. Yay! It's Rhineland cutlery. This is my mom's. And so you want to take your palm, put it on top of the onion. Make sure that you don't drop your hand because you can just like slice the palm of your hand. That's no fun. So you're just going to take it using the end of your knife and just slide it right on through, just as far as you can go. And make sure before you do this that the knife is sharp, or your knife won't go anywhere and you won't want to do this step. So just do it like 1 or 2 times. I'll do it a second time just so you can see. Here, I don't know if you can see that, but I cut a few holes in the onion. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it into little slices. And so what you want to do is hold your hand in a bear claw position with your thumb tucked behind, or you can easily cut the tip of your thumb off, and it really sucks. You don't want to do that. So I'm just going to cut it a few times, just straight down. There we go. Just cut it like right near the root, so that way you're able to hold the onion in place, because a lot of times, like you just saw, the onion falls apart, which is totally fine. So now that you see it's in all of these slices right here, it's broken apart. Then I'm going to turn it around and rotate 9 degrees. Aw, thank you, Heather. And I'm going to just cut it into little diced pieces using this motion right here. Just a couple times. Make sure you don't cut your hand right until you get to the edge. Just kind of put that piece off to the side. If you have any little missed pieces like I did, just kind of cut them up afterwards. There you go. Now you can see I have a whole cutting board of delicious diced onions that we're going to roast later. So I'm just going to put that in a bowl and set that aside. So that's vegetable number 1. Vegetable number 2 is red cabbage. This one can be really intimidating to chop as well because of this membrane right in the middle. Looks like a brain. It gives you lots of intelligence. It's also really good for your blood, red cabbage. So the first thing I did before this demo was I cut it in half. So that way, and I peeled off the outside edges of the skin. So that way you don't have like all the stuff that other people have been touching, and then you don't have to wash it either. So I'm going to cut off this end part right here, sticking the knife right in the middle, then just cut down. Then I'm going to cut another angle down here. So then you don't want to eat that piece. Just going to throw that to the side for a second. And if you think this is too big, you can cut it in half again. So I usually like to cut my cabbage in quarters. So now you see you have this whole inside here. You can just lay it on its side, use the bear claw again, and then just cut a few times. You'll get these really nice thin pieces using the same technique as the onion. You want to make sure you can get it as thin as possible, so you just cut it in the inside like that. And just rip it apart a little bit. If you have any of these little big pieces here, I don't like eating them because I don't really like the texture of these big pieces. A lot of people might not. So you can either toss it aside or you can cut it into smaller pieces like I'm going to right now, just to break it all up. Then that's how you cut a cabbage. Now you have these little shredded pieces here. I'm going to put that in a bowl and set that aside as well. Boop-a-doo, boop. Boop-a-doo. Yay! Alright, next I have this broccoli. This one's probably the easiest one of all because it's already in a floret. So all you need to do is wash it. And in order to cut it, just take the tip of your knife. Let's see if I can get a good angle. And then just cut towards the stems. There you go. Just cut a few pieces. And just let them fly off. Yay! Alright, and if you want big pieces like this, you can always cut it off. Cut it a little smaller. So then, I like my broccoli pieces tiny. I'm not a big fan of eating broccoli. So eating it in smaller pieces helps me not really think about the fact that I'm eating broccoli. So here's the florets that I have. Yay! I'm going to set those up in a bowl. So next, after cutting all your vegetables, what I did was I prepared the quinoa, which is the base of this dish. So I actually prepared it in advance so you can see what it looks like when it's done. So what you do is I use this Trader Joe's tri-colored quinoa, and the ratio you want to do is 1 cup of quinoa per 2 cups of water. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio. You want to remember that because if you do more than that, it might not cook all the way and you might have water sitting in the bottom of it. Or if you don't do not enough water, you might burn the quinoa and then you have this nice brown stain in your pan and it's a bitch to clean. So you don't want to do that either. So after you do the 2-to-1 ratio, what I like to do is before I pour the quinoa into the pot, I drain it a little bit with some water to make sure I get all the fizzies out to make sure that the quinoa can be digested a lot better. So that way, you're not feeling all like a rumbly tummy when you're eating it. So that's why I rinse the quinoa. And once you do that, you need to... I love your water, Les. Thank you. Gotta always stay hydrated during my cooking demos. And so after you pour the quinoa in the water in the pot, you want to make sure that you let the quinoa run to a boil. So I turn it on medium heat and like medium high, and then I'll let that run for maybe about 5-10 minutes until I start seeing that boiling. And then I'll cover it and crank it down to low, and then just let it sit for another 10 to 15 minutes. And that way, I have a sample behind me. Nice and steamy quinoa. It is all done. Yay! And then just stir it up a little bit, fluff it up, so then you have some nice fluffy quinoa that's nice, hot, fresh, and ready for your consumption. All right, next, after I cut all of the vegetables, for your protein, I use roasted chickpeas. So I opened up a can of chickpeas because it saves a lot of time. Or if you want to soak it overnight, you can as well with bulk chickpeas. That could save you a lot of money as well if you want to do that, and if you have the extra time. And being able to remember to take the water out of the chickpeas, that could be an option, but the easiest option is obviously the can. I know it has some preservatives in it, and it's not the best thing, but it saves you a lot of time in the long run, and that's what a lot of people are looking for at the end of the day, is to be able to save time and have a healthy meal. So once I rinsed off the chickpeas, I put them on sheet pans, all the vegetables I used, and all of my chickpeas, and I put a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, put in the oven at 350 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes. The chickpeas might need a little bit longer though. Just check on them every 5 minutes after 30 minutes until they taste crunchy to your liking. And so to save us a little time, I actually prepped all of the vegetables in advance. But before I show you what they look like, what you need is a sauce. You cannot have a vegan power bowl or any type of bowl whatsoever without sauce. Because a lot of people who struggle to eat vegetables really don't like the taste of vegetables. It took me 21 years to actually eat vegetables, and the strategy that I used was to put a healthy sauce on it that I made by myself. So that way I'm also getting more nutrients from the oils in the pesto or whatever sauce I'm using to help it digest a little bit easier. And that way I'm also getting that flavor with the vegetables, so it doesn't just feel like I'm eating a bitter ass piece of food. So here's the pesto. I made it in advance. So I'll send the recipe after this for my pesto. It's also on my website. So it's pretty similar to regular pesto, but the only difference is that you're using nutritional yeast and lemon juice instead of Parmesan cheese, because that will mimic the taste of pesto without having the dairy, because dairy can be a little inflammatory for some people, including myself. So that's why I decided to make vegan pesto for you guys. So once your vegetables are done, you'll hear a beep, and you'll just pull it out of the oven. Baby. Yeah, look at these. Taste the rainbow. Skittles. Taste the rainbow. Or actually, veggies. Eat the rainbow. Gotta pull these out. Yeah, here's the roasted chickpeas that I roasted right before this demo. I also added some greens as well because I really like to roasted spinach and mixed greens, because why not? And then once everything is done, take your bowl. Then I'm gonna go behind here. Then we can scoop some quinoa as your base. Let's find my spoon now. Spoon. Scoop a few scoops, however many you want. Probably scoop like 3 scoops, because you don't want to eat too much. If you're physically active like me, I could eat an entire bowl of this and still be hungry. Alright, here we go. There's the quinoa. Then scoop as many vegetables as you like. So I like to make mine in an array because why not make everything look like a rainbow? Let me get a spoon here. Here we go. I'm back. So I'm going to scoop some vegetables around my plate. I also roasted a little bit of garlic with the vegetables because who doesn't love garlic with your vegetables? Here we go. Got some broccoli. I put some spinach on there. Yum, yum, yum. Just a little bit of greens here. Kind of cuts the bitterness out. And then, of course, you need the roasted chickpeas, duh. A little scoop there. And then, of course, you have your bowl. Here we go. Oops. Clean that off. Then you got to scoop a little dollop of pesto. Yeah. Because, of course, you need sauce. And then, voila! You have yourselves a completely vegan roasted chickpea veggie Buddha Power Bowl. Yay! And that, my friends, is my cooking demo. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. If you want to learn more about how you can learn to cook this or any other vegan or plant-based dishes, I offer you a one-on-one 60-minute cook with me class where you will bring me a recipe that you would like to prepare and we will walk through together and I will teach you step by step how to cut the vegetables, roast them in the oven, not roast them if you don't want to, cook pasta, anything you need, any dish, whatever it may be, I will help you because that is the way of redefining all diets, is that I help people with all types of diets, not just plant-based or vegan. I also am a meat eater, so I like to eat meat. So I can help you cook chicken, fish, whatever you would like. So bring it to me and I will help you make it to your liking. Muy deliciosa, yummy. And so if you want to have some more support with me, I also have a free community where I will also be dropping this demo in a few minutes. I also provide wellness tips every Wednesday with weekly recipes and monthly cooking demos. So this will be the cooking demo for February. And I will also have the lovely Heather featured in my group to do her cooking demo. Yay! Because why not build community with more people being able to share the gift of cooking healthy to be able to transform the lives of many people from all over the world. So that is my gift to bring to you, like a virtual personal cooking class. Hell yeah, it is. With over a year of cooking experience in a professional kitchen, I found that it's a lot better for me to be teaching other people how to cook because you don't really get a lot of that training. So why not be able to get it from someone that has that professional experience and that's willing to teach you? Because that's the first step, is having somebody willing to help you. And that is me. So if you want any more support, I will be dropping my links below. So make sure to catch those. And stay tuned for next month where I will be cooking something else to my surprise. And then I will be able to share that with everybody. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask below and I will answer them within 24 hours. So that is all. Have a wonderful day, everybody.